Okay, like this. So first of all, I would show you something about our project in building automation that you will know how. So here we have some ventilation and heating, cooling technology. Then we have room automation example. So if we open the ventilation technology and we go to some automation scheme, here in upper side, we have control diagrams. And these are control diagrams from the automation scheme. And if we go forward, we can open this medium. We have mediums which connects different elements, and we can choose more different mediums. So here we have extract air, gas, and so on. We can choose. And as you can see right now, in building automation, we have different symbols, special symbols, especially for automation, building automation. And as you can see here, we have also information about the cable. So all these elements has information about the cables in one scheme. If we go forward, now we can see this infolink, symbol infolinks, which are essential. And you can see already here these numbers are data points. And these data points are actually inputs or outputs from our symbols, from our elements. And as you can see here, for example, exhaust air damper. Here we have a lot of information, hand message and everything. It's outdoor air damper. For all elements, we have this information. Now, the question is why we should use these schemes, why we should have extra work. The answer is because in the very beginning of the project, we have very nice overview. For example, we can generate a lot of great documentation, reports. Here we can see we have a fire damper. Then we can go to the function list, which are very important, because here we have references. Here we have all information about the elements. So, for example, this outdoor temperature sensor, we exactly know that this outdoor temperature sensor has one analog input, and then there is information about physical or virtual, what kind of input is this. We have all this kind of information in one hand with this function list. And as I said, we have more other reports which are very good. For example, material list. We can generate material list in each plant or floor, or we can generate overall material list for whole building. And then we have all information about the manufacturer, and then we can make some very good calculation about the project in very beginning. So we have already this information. And yes, we can also, let's say, we have cable lists, and we can also generate overall function lists, and we exactly know how many inputs or outputs and which of inputs and outputs are in whole project. So this is one of the benefits. You can see here we have all information, summary functions. And okay, automation scheme. If you go back here, you can already see that we have a lot of cross references. All these elements are connected to electrical engineering scheme, to electrical engineering discipline. So all these elements we can use in electrical engineering later. If we open this fan, for example, we can check directly data points about this fan. Here we have all information, and then you can see all information, and we can also change base objects. There's a lot of functionality which we can do with WSCAD. And here we have data point browser. In data point browser, here is a lot of elements. There are all elements in the project, and we can choose the page which we want to see the data points on which page. So, for example, we can check some pages, and here we have all information. And this data point key, we can generate these data point keys, which are kind of addresses. There are very well-structured addresses, and because of this structure, we immediately know where this data point belongs to, which plant, floor, or which element, which kind of data point is. We can generate this data point key by our own. So we can create the structure of this data point key that we already know exactly where this data point belongs. So yeah, maybe we have more thousands of data points, so that's very, very good. So if you open this data point manager, from Access file, this is kind of database from building automation model, and here we have all information about the data point. So data points. So we can change the language. And if we open a signal data point management, here we have all information. We can change the data points, and we can add new data points. Here is 10,000 data points, and if we don't have right data point, we can just simply change. We can do some changes. For example, we can change some, we can add physical, virtual data point type. And as I said, we can add more data points and then upload, connect back to WSCAD. So if you open this fan again, here, if you open part management, here we have all options to this kind of ventilator, stepless ventilator. There's a lot of options which we can choose for this application. So as I said before, we have cross references, and now we can just jump to our electrical schematics. So we can use this part, this element from the material list, and we can just place it directly to these schematics, and everything is cross-referenced. So we don't need to work twice for one thing. So when we have this overview, as you can see, we can use this overview for other disciplines, for electrical engineering, for schematics in this way, or in other. So in installation plan, for example, here we just jump to installation plan, where we have some DVG file, and on this DVG file you can see a lot of elements, and we can open this outdoor temperature sensor, and you can see we have information about the height. So we place this element on the place. It's a 3D, and all these elements on the DVG are 3D oriented, are actually laying on the place. We can check it right now with this 3D overview. Here, all elements are actually lying on the space, and we have exact information about the height. And we can actually put this cable pipe and make a calculations for cables. And then we can generate a very precise cable list. So we can go to other to heating and cooling technology. So for heating we have and cooling, we have a lot of symbols and already prepared macros and a lot of parts. We can create very good schemes, automation schemes for cooling and heating technology, and for all control systems. There's a lot of possibility to create with WSCAD. And if we go forward, as I said, we have also room automation schemes and room automation macros, which we can use it in building automation model for the automation of the buildings. And yes, in Germany and some other countries, these diagrams should be in building automation projects according to ISO 16484 standard, but in our market are not required yet. As you can see right now, there's the same process like in ventilation technology before I showed you. We have these cross references, so we can jump to electric installation plan. Okay. And we can go back. And yes, we can open some symbol, some sensor, and you can see we have a lot of information to fill, pin field, pin type, and so on. So now I think the best way is to create some project in building automation that you will see what are benefits of our model and why we should do the schemes like this. So project name would be a webinar, let's say. And okay, there's a structure template. So we already have by default some structures for building automation. We have already some structures, and we can just create it by our own, what we want to have it. So we already create some structures. Here's mounting location, installation, site plan, everything is set. So we want, we don't need to do nothing. The structure is like this right now. We just decided to work on this way. There's many ways to work. So this is one of the ways. And if we go to automation scheme, and we can create some pages, let's say 5 pages we will have in this ventilation technology. We want to create some ventilation. And here we have this edit project text. And because of this editor, we can just copy and paste more names at once in one page. It's also some benefit. And if we go to the first page, and if we can check the right side, these are macro explorer, and we have a symbol explorer. But right now, for this demonstration, we will work with macros because we have a lot of macros and it's very good to work with these macros because it's very faster. So if we place some crossflow for now, for our building automation, for our building ventilation system, you can see already we have some data points here which were generated, and now we will need in our project some fire dams, some fire dampers for supply air, and fire dampers for exhaust air. Then ventilators, we will also place them. We have different kind of macros now. We have variables in this macro, and we can set the variables. We can set the values to these variables. You will see it again if we insert in supplier one more. Okay, here we have these values. So if we know the nominal power, we can just insert it right here. And now we will insert some pressure sensors for our application of ventilation system in the both sides. And okay. And as you can see, we already have a lot of information here about data points, about inputs or outputs. We exactly know which inputs or outputs are and the name of them, what they are for. But right now we don't have data point keys. So we can just generate the data point keys. We can go to tools, plugin. Let's say we will use this template from Fraport. And here we go to functions, and we can change this update data point info links. And as you can see, we generate these data point keys, and now we know exactly where some data point belongs to which plant or element and what kind of data point is it. So we just generated this data point key, and these are very important, especially if we have a very big project. So if we go forward and place some more elements, some more macros to our ventilation system, we need a cooler. Also, we have options to fill the values to variables. And sensors. Okay, this is outdoor temperature sensor. And now we can just insert some dampers for exhaust air. And we need to place some filters in both sides of exhaust air, like this. Okay, and now we can create more. One more thing. If we don't have if we don't have a macros, we can insert the symbols and do in other ways. So we insert the symbols for, let's say, this smoke detector, this sensor, and here we can insert the parts which we want. We have a lot of options. We just choose this, and we can just directly check the data point, because when we insert this part, automatically the data point is generated. And now this is not all. We need just this symbol InfoLink and connect it to this element. And now everything is generated. Now we have the all information in our automation sheet. This is other way how to do it if we don't have a proper macros. And yes, we can insert some more pages. We can connect more pages with these cross references. So with these arrows. So let's say ABL. And other arrow. Now we can insert some additional lines here. That's also the possibility that we know in other page where to place these mediums. So if you go to the next page, we can insert this supplier on the lower additional line, like this, and exhaust there. Like this, and then we will insert some more arrows that everything will be cross-referenced. We can move this reference right now, that we will see it better. Another. Like this. And then now, let's say for our demonstration that in our ventilation system, we have more fire dampers. We can just copy these fire dampers in other page, like this. And we have one options that we can duplicate these fire dampers with Control and D. And when we press plus, we get more fire dampers. And as you can see, the software automatically calculate the distance between these elements. That's also one good way to work. And we can just insert one more page in installation plan. And I want to show you how to work with DWG or DXF files. We will insert some big file, big layout. You will see that we have also possibility to work with larger projects. Or so we open some layout, and here you can see we have a lot of layers. There's a lot of layers. We can close the layers here. For example, we have a lot of options how to work with these DXF files or DWG files. And you can see already it's here. And if we press right button, we have here a lot of options, properties. We can also here change the layers. We can open some layers, we can close them. But now this is not the case I want to show you. I want to show you that we can now just insert some parts from the building automation. shim, which we created previously. So we will insert here, for example, some fire damper from the material list, from the material explorer. So here we have a material explorer with all elements which we already inserted in our project. So we can just use it. As you can see right now, we have now the additional window with installation zones automatically opened. And as you can see, the symbol is very small right now because we didn't adjust the scale to this big drawing. But that's not a problem. We can just scale this symbol. Let's say we can scale once, and then we have the proper. So in the right side, you can see that we can place on some position this element, this fire damper. We choose on the right side with with keys Q and A the height of the element in the space. If we open this data point, here we have also information, and that's not all. As you can see, we have also information about the cables. If there are cables, they are also integrated in installation plan right now. Now we can go to other discipline and create some pages, let's say 27 pages for our project. But we will name just 3 pages because I want to show you how to use these data points in PLCs, how to assign the data points to PLCs. So now everything is set. So we know exactly what kind of project is. And if we start just from the PLC overview for our demonstration, we don't have time to create a whole project. So if we open this PLC overview, and we created some macros for our demonstration that we can show you how to assign these data points to PLCs. And fire dampers like this. And now let's say that we will need in our project the PLC 1200 from Siemens. We can just insert the part. Like this. Let's say that we will use this CPU just for not in this page, but in PLC overview. Like this. And now here we have this PLC manager where we can assign the inputs or outputs. Here we have a browser. We can just assign it to 0 because it's first one. And now it's assigned. And we can just connect and assign this data point to, let's say, analog input. Where if we open this analog input, we don't need to worry to mix with digital or something else because there in the data point browser opened automatically just analog options for analog inputs. Like this, we just assigned. And if we go to the browser, you can already see that the data point is assigned, but we don't have a comment and symbol text. That means we didn't set the proper settings in PLC. So that's not a problem, and we can go just to tools, settings, and we can here assign these special ticks, PLC ticks, that we will have a lot of more information about this data point in PLC. Let's see, let's say that's okay for us. If we insert one more time, and we will now have to do everything one more time. So like this. And now we can just assign these inputs or outputs. Let's say the address first byte is 0. And again, we will assign this data point. Let's say this is a pressure sensor which has analog input. If we are more precisely, we can assign the other way. So we can assign directly here in browser the data point, or we can assign it a lot more. So we can just choose more digital outputs, for example, all of them, and then assign it directly all of them to data point browser. So as you see right now, everything is assigned. And if we go forward, pressure sensor. Okay, now we can do it exactly as we do it in an installation plan here in electrical schematics. So we can just use this pressure sensor, find this pressure sensor in building automation scheme, so material list in building automation. So if we want this, okay, it's here. So we have a pressure sensor. We need on this page let's say two pressure sensors. And you can see automatically it's connected. Automatically the cross reference is generated. And now we will use these analog inputs and place it here. Like this. And if we go to fire dampers, the procedure is the same. We can use these elements from the building material explorer. Let's say this fire damper, which we already use it, as you can see this in electrical installation, and now we have fire damper delivery air, fire damper exhaust air. That's it for now. And now we can go back to you, Elvis, to Q&A session.
What specifies the ISO 16484 standard?
ISO 16484 standard specify the phases of building automation and control system. It has 4 phases. First is first phase is design.
The second question is how the data point keys are defined.
Data point keys, as I showed before, we actually didn't define it, but we can set data point keys in special addressing system. Where can we define these addresses? We already have some data point key structure as here the add-ons, plugin manager, and we used for demonstration this Fraport key structure, but we can create it by our own. So here, let's say we can choose some structure. which we want, for Project Explorer, database, let's just, and so on. Let's say some, doesn't matter. We can make some classification here. So, and now we can generate, we can create some our own structure which we want. Okay, so you can